Got it.
Okay, it's on starting soon.
Okay.
Okay, what were you
Uh,
saying?
so, my brother started up another campaign yesterday. We made characters. I made a 7'3" half drow uh
7'3".
female. Yeah, she's a
Dang,
big girl.
that's a tall
Uh,
girl.
the uh the 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 dad was 5'5", normal drow height. Uh, but the mother was a Goliath. She was tall. She was real tall.
Oh, a half Goliath.
Half Goliath, half drow.
That's a hell of a combo.
I know.
I want to see
She's a
half
ranger
dwarf,
and
half
she's gonna
Goliath.
have some fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. I was like, I
Okay.
have never played this race before, so let's go with this. What can I do for the other half of the race?
The world's tallest elf or drow. I mean, dark elf.
Yeah, she looks fantastic.
It's always like a weird thing because they never really. There's a few ways they interpret the mingling of races in Dungeons and Dragons, but they never really like.
Oh,
There's no solid this way or that way. It's kind of just yeah, it's yeah. I mean, they could. It's usually like the mother's genders or the mother's race is usually what's picked and things like that. And but I think they should all just be like, I'm half dwarf, half Goliath. So you're just like normal
a
size
giant
then?
ass
Yes.
dwarf. Oh god, hilarious.
Yeah, they never really explain it. I think they should explain it. I think there should be like a
Yeah.
definition into genealogy. There should be like one of the expansion books instead of just giving you like a bunch of extra things. It just be like here's how genealogy works in the Dungeons and Dragons universe.
Yeah. A giant for a dwarf is apparently 5'6".
And the next iteration of D&D just needs to be like you get half the traits from one. They just have like, okay, what was your mom's race? What was your dad's race? You can pick the traits from any of these.
You get pick one trait from each,
Yeah,
and there you go.
you just be
Everyone
whatever.
everyone will be playing half stuff all the time.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I'd be half fire genasi and half like I don't know uh
Taxi.
tabaxi. Yeah, fire cat. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
fire
that'd be
cat.
the shit. Oh, I want fire cat.
Yeah.
Gimme gimme.
Yeah.
Why not electric? Then you can be a Thundercat.
Oh, you're right, Schmoodle.
You're right, Schmoodle. You're right. Thunder, thunder, thunder. Name him Lion-O. That would
Oh
be
man, it's been forever since I watched that show.
Thundercats. I used to watch that
Yeah.
on like, uh, I think that was on Toonami, on Cartoon Network. I think they just
No,
they would have like
I
old
think it
school
They
was
shows
had moved it
sometimes.
to Toonami at some point, but it was on Cartoon Network originally.
yeah.
But they did move it to Toonami once that came out. But I mean, obviously, it was just reruns. But then they moved it to Boomerang, I think.
There we
Killing
go.
that would look crazy. That would look weird, but it would be kind of funny. Okay, so imagine a giant dwarf, okay? He's like 5'6", but
Uh-huh.
most of his body is nothing but legs. And the rest, like his torso and everything else is just short.
Why don't we just actually make a giant dwarf like in Infinity War?
Yeah, the
Um,
giant dwarf from
I don't
yeah.
know. I never watched it anymore.
There's a giant dwarf in that one. He makes a giant. He makes a very. He's got like a giant forge. I said. Okay, I got my screen up. It's not in the right place though, because I lose track of which window I'm controlling.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. There we go. Yeah, you guys were in a basement, beating up skeletons, bone shards everywhere, smashing up. You guys have the, you guys picked the perfect weapons for beating up skeletons. I gotta say, you've got a maul and a great hammer.
Woohoo!
Didn't we also
Oh.
dig the guard in under the pile of skeletons?
I did, yes.
That's right. You guys buried the guard underneath the skeleton bones or something.
Yeah. Just to make sure that when he wakes up, he sees literally all of his dead companions
This
from
poor
over the
guard is gonna be
freaking years.
traumatized
And
for his
then he's gonna
rest
go
of his
straight to the
life.
mayor and be like, "Yo, this bitch did something wrong."
Yeah.
And
What
from
the hell
there,
did
just
he?
go to arrest her ass
You're
or
gonna-
something. I don't know.
Someone's just gonna be down in the basement, wandering around randomly.
I went down there to follow the people that you told me to follow, and they found out that she was killing guards.
All right. Well, let's do. Let me get some music going, and then we can do the brief recap. And you guys can proceed to wander closer towards your doom.
Sweet.
You have no
Hooray,
faith in this.
doom.
I have faith in everything.
But mostly the sun
don't.
god.
Oh.
The paladin would have faith. Where did I
Yeah,
put-
because the paladin is a paladin, the paladins are paladins.
Wow.
And the snozberries taste like snozberries.
Oh.
Okay. Last time on Dungeons and Breakfast Curse of Strahd, your group decided to go investigate the mansion of a one Fiona Wachter, who you guys deemed very suspicious. Upon arriving there, you found nobody home. It was completely empty. Nobody answering doors. Nobody in any of the windows. Though you did briefly see somebody peeking through one of the curtains on the upstairs floor.
I spotted you.
Ignoring that, though, you guys went into the basement.
Yep.
Going around the cellar, getting caught by a guard who, after they've been eyeing you very cautiously, who found you trying to break into the cellar of the Wachter house. You guys then promptly knocked him out,
Did.
dragged him into the basement, threw him onto a bed, walked forward into this very bare root cellar, which seemed to have triggered a few extra friends down here in the basement. Skeletons rose up from underneath the ground and the dirt that covered the bottom of this basement. You guys absolutely obliterated them because I couldn't roll for poop with my dice. The dice failed me. Didn't even get anybody below half health, which makes me super sad.
I got 2 natural 20. I obliterated them.
And you guys, completely smashed them to bits. Then proceeded to take the leftovers, the bones from the Skirlingtons, and put them on top of the guard so that he would wake up traumatized and very confused.
I don't remember doing that.
I do.
So,
Seems about right.
you guys
I remember doing that.
are in this dirt, dusty, bone like dust everywhere root cellar.
Mhm.
What would you guys like to do?
I would like to investigate this wall.
The wall
I
where
would
all
like-
the footprints are heading into.
Yes.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
One
Like
second, I need to get my
to-
D20. That is 17.
You examine the wall, and it's even after the throes of battle, they kind of scuffed the footprints up a little bit and made it a little harder to see, but you had seen this beforehand, and you saw that they indeed went directly into the side of this wall. So you investigate the wall for a little bit. It just seems like just kind of bare dirt. But you see a very interesting looking rock lodged into the wall next to the little corner on the stairs. Just kind of sticking out of the wall. There's something strange about it. And you kind of
I push the rock.
you push the rock and it slides in. You wait for a second for something to happen. And you see behind you, as you kind of turn around, you hear this noise of the wall essentially collapsing on itself. The dirt kind of just waterfalls away and begins to pile up on the ground just outside of what looks to be an entrance into a very, very dark room that is not lit. Kind of like
Hey,
this very, it's not like a perfectly cut door either. It's not like a square, like, it is very roughly hewn.
I grab one of the skulls from the skeleton and turn it into floaty glowy skull.
You've got a floaty glowy skull. All right, as the usual case is, you now have a floating glowing skull for, because what glows brighter than a floating skeleton head with an invisible mage hand attached? Really, it's brilliant if you think about it. You take the skeleton head and shine it into the entrance. Now, as you get closer, the first thing that really catches your senses is the smell. You kind of bring the skeleton head up with your mage hand, and this breeze, almost this wave of what smells like rot and blood, iron, this cacophony of terrible, almost nauseating scents hits all of your noses about the same time. This cold breeze kind of flowing through from the entranceway.
Like a retirement home.
Mhm.
Is that the delivery guy? And you look inside, and you can see actually, let me.
We can see the retirement home, the Lucky Central.
Yes, for the Lockheed Central retirement home. They're all sitting around a giant TV. You guys
Pop
see
in
a
and
room.
go, hey, pizza's here.
Just pretend those candles aren't lit. These candles are very unlit. What you see is a room with several chairs sitting around some circular feature and several candelabras snuffed out. What gets your attention, though, is the bodies slumped onto these chairs. Blood and viscera just absolutely covering what remains of 5 separate corpses. Strangely mangled.
Well, this is the retirement home.
Kind of, and they didn't just die like falling over. They were, it looks like something bad happened in here. They were cut up, they were slashed, they were mutilated. If you guys want to investigate further, you'd have to step inside the room.
Hey guys, look what I just found. More dead people.
Yeah. We're trying to do something else now. No, I'm joking. Are they moving?
Are you poking them?
Doesn't look like it. From outside the room, Thuxora is going to use her floaty glowy skull to gently poke somebody with it.
You poke one of the corpses hitting on the sitting on the chairs, and just kind of you see a bit of like a chunk of flesh just kind of flop onto the ground.
They don't seem to be moving.
Mm-hmm. Okay, last time I poked something, it was by a well and it didn't go very well. No pun intended.
Oh, quick question, by the way, Waffles. The floaty glowy skull, is the jawbone still attached to it?
The jawbone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say the jawbone could still be
Okay.
attached to it.
Then I want to flavor text my floaty glowy skull in a way that whenever it moves around, the jawbone basically flaps open and close and basically does this clicking noise.
Okay, so you've got a floating, glowing skeleton head being moved around with an invisible hand, but also every time it moves, it goes like it snaps his teeth and goes click, 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 click. Makes like skeleton noises from Minecraft.
Yep.
It makes like the bone jangle sound from Minecraft. Got it. Okay, so Minecraft skull moving around. Okay. For reasons. Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, your skeleton head now is chattering, Halloween style. Have you guys? Did you step into the room?
No, not yet. Gwen refuses because last time she did anything to do with a room that looked like it was dead and it wasn't. It went bad, so I'm not taking the blame for this one.
Move aside. I'm coming through.
Okay.
Irina's like she's behind all you guys and she's looking over your shoulders. Are you sure that's a good idea?
No, my lady.
Probably not.
Stay back,
Of
my
course
lady.
not. Nothing in this entire city is a good idea.
Fair enough. I'll wait out here with our friend, and she looks over to the guard covered in the debris of your fallen enemies. She kind of holds a sleeve over her nose and tries to cover her mouth.
Do I see this pentagram on the floor?
As you get closer and you step inside, Botag, the scent is just terrible.
Yeah.
It is, you just, you have to like, cover your nose with a bit of your clothing just to be able to breathe in here. You do see what looks to be a, a pentagram of some sort, though it is hard to make out exactly what it looks like, considering the amount of blood and uh, entrails covering sections of this carved ritual site. And in the middle of this circle that these 5 chairs kind of surround, you see what looks to be some sort of dais, like a little raised platform carved, kind of intricately carved out of some kind of darker wood, in sort of a bowl shape with a few depictions of a symbol. It is a symbol of a very broad symbol of a skull, one that you've seen before. You kind of think back for a second. It is the same skull symbol you'd seen on the person, the one you had originally met outside of the mansion you had been in when you first arrived in Barovia. And also the one on the book that you guys have in your possession. The bowl is empty, though. There's nothing inside of it. In fact, it is strangely pristinely clean, considering the mess that surrounds the outside of it.
Okay. This was definitely where those skeletons were probably made. Is there like a body in each chair?
Yes, there in each chair there is a body.
Okay.
All of the bodies are wearing a white cloak of some unknown. It's a matching outfit. You know, they all kind of seem to be wearing the exact same one.
Hmm. Seems like they all might have been from the same church or same group. Can I tell if their clothes would be like from a church or a religion?
You check the cloaks. It's hard to tell. They are so torn and ragged. You kind of they are white, but you can tell they're heavily soaked in
All sorts of blood.
Yeah, all sorts of blood. It's browned by now, kind of rust colored. You do see the same insignia that you saw on the dais in the middle of the ritual circle. Kind of a clasp on the cloak.
Okay. So it looks like all of these guys probably work for. I'm gonna take a wild guess here and go work for Strahd a little bit. Because that's pretty much a symbol, right? From what we deduced.
So, the question then is, why would somebody have 5 dead Strahd cultists in their basement?
Probably to, raise those skeletons. or something, or some type of ritual with them?
Thoxora steps into the room as well and
Everything comes to life.
chooses-
No, I'm just kidding.
Thoxora
Take
steps
it
out of
direct.
the room again. No,
God
she
dang it,
steps into
Rex.
the room to one of the corpses and uses identify on the corpse.
Okay, hold on. Let me read identify to see exactly what it tells you.
You could tell if stuff was magical or not, and what they come from. What school?
Let me double
Other
check
than
before I
magic.
want to make sure I get the identify. It turns out they're all ready to attack you at a moment's notice.
Oh.
You go to cast identify on this. Are you using the ritual?
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to take 10 minutes. So
Yep.
are you guys doing anything while Thurxora casts this?
I guess Gwen's
Uh,
probably gonna just peek through.
You peek through and it smells like rotting flesh that's been here for a while. You kind of gag a little bit.
I'm gonna go ahead and light this candelabra.
You go to light the candelabra. You notice these candles, these are melted down to the barest of nubs. There's candle wax dripping all the way down these candelabras. They were in use for a very long time. You light it up. It lights up easy enough. The wick still seems to work, even though it's covered in a little bit of blood.
That I don't think there's anything else in this room that can be of use, at least that I know of.
If you want to check, you can do an investigation check if you want to inspect the room.
Yeah, let me inspect the room. Yo, that's 21.
21. You're searching throughout this room, and it's a little bit of work to examine the bodies a little more thoroughly. It is not a fun time for you. There doesn't seem to be anything outside of the bodies on the chairs and the 4 candelabras on the corners of the room. The bodies are... You examine them for a little bit, and you can tell that they have been dead for a while. You're not sure. You can make a medicine check if you want to see how long the bodies have been here for. But they've been here for a while. You know, some very long period of time they've been here. So it's a little bit of an effort to try and go through their things. But you peel away some of the bits and pieces without going into too much yucky detail.
I just rolled for the medicine, got an 18.
Okay, 18. You would say anywhere between a month to 2 months. They've been here for quite a few number of weeks. Rigor mortis has set in. The viscera, it is all kind of like dried up. It is rotting away. It's just piles of rot at this point. It is not a good sight. You do discover, though, with your 21 roll on your investigation check, one of the corpses seems to have. You kind of have to peel away a little bit of the cloak to find that on their person is a book, maybe? It's hard to tell. It is torn, ripped to shreds. It looks like it was in a fire at some point. It is just kind of like this black charcoal hardcover, pretty thick, about yay thick.
Well, time to finish the job and burn the rest of the book. Nah, I'm joking. I'm gonna take the book.
You do notice the symbol. You kind of brush away a little bit of the dust and gore on it, and you see the symbol of the skull insignia. Therxora, finishing your identify, you don't sense any sort of magic or any such thing affecting these corpses. They are just corpses. They're pretty mangled corpses, but corpses, they're pretty dead. You identify that the corpses are dead.
So, guys, big news.
Yeah.
They are dead.
Sweet.
Oh,
You've discovered new things.
I couldn't tell with the vast amount of guts and gore everywhere, but that's a shame.
But
Right,
considering that we've been attacked by skeletons not even 20 minutes ago, just I think we shouldn't just judge by the looks of somebody.
I'm coming in.
You walk in, the smell is terrible.
Oh dear God.
What's Crowley? What are you doing? Are you just hanging back?
I'm keeping watch,
Okay.
just in case any more skeletons come up.
Okay. If you're keeping a lookout, roll a perception check for me.
All right. The hell, where did my
Irina's
thingy
going to roll
go?
one too, because she's also keeping a lookout with you. She didn't roll good.
Hold on, I can't find. Did it close? What the fuck? My browser closed. Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna get it open again. Come on. All right.
Yo,
You said perception?
Yeah.
10.
10? Okay. Noted. You don't sense anything right now, but you've got your ears out. Okay, what else are you guys doing?
Well, can't really do much here, can we? Because I don't think any of us know how this works.
Should we put the guard in the middle of the room? See what happens.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not. Look,
Poor guard.
leave him alone. He's already gonna have an extremely rough day. He's
Look,
already gonna have an extremely rough day.
Maybe we won't have to worry about hiding
Not
them,
having
you know,
a
I'm
good
just
day.
killing two
Why
birds,
would
one
we-
stone. You know, it's for
Why
science.
would we be worried about hiding him when he's
Um.
literally over there with his entire group of like fellow guardsmen bones all around his body?
Maybe he could join them in a similar fashion and feel part of the team again. I don't know.
I just want to point out, now he's not only going to wake up under a massive pile of bones, he's going to wake up with the smell of blood and gore in the room directly next to him.
You might
and
as well
being covered
commit.
in bones.
You might as well commit to the
No.
full act, you know?
I refuse. I refuse to let that happen.
Fine. I'm just curious.
Boo.
Agreed. Texora?
Yep, the Nani?
I don't know what the language is, but did you hear my small suggestion?
I'm sorry, I just got bombarded with Discord DMs. Would you
Oh.
mind repeating it?
I suggested we put the god in the middle of the pentagram and see what happens for shits and gigs. I mean, for science.
We could do that alternatively. We could also take the corpses and put them outside, hang them from the trees. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Why not both?
Fair point.
Woohoo!
Let's do both.
No.
And
Aw.
Like
Just
I
because you
don't
can't
know.
reach the trees.
I feel like being alive today. And that means that we don't kill the guard.
We're not killing the guard.
No, we're experimenting.
If that kills the guard, all of you go to jail.
Listen, Dotek, my
Ooh,
experience in
Dotek,
magic
Dotek.
rituals tells me that we can probably place him there, and absolutely nothing will happen because we don't know how to activate the ritual.
And
You're
what
gonna be
if
a
players come there will
Usually
kill him?
rituals like this are not designed in a way that they immediately go off because you have to somehow get the people into the middle. And the problem then is that if you place them there and the ritual would immediately trigger, it would potentially also eat the person who's placing the person in the middle. So, yeah. Additionally, I would assume that these 5 dead fellas here were catalysts of some sort for the ritual, which means that they probably won't work anymore because they are dead.
And on
What
top
if
of
they
that,
needed to be
you're gonna
dead in the
narc?
first?
you gonna be a narc?
I don't know about you guys, but I respect the people of the dead. If they are dead, yeah. If they're dead, we need to like either leave their bones in a place to rest once everything's all done and said, or like actually help out and freaking get the Walker lady like executed or arrested or something, because she's literally been killing people here.
Yep.
And we
We
can
don't know
see
that.
if this would work, and if it does work, then we can use it on her.
I like how everybody in my chat is saying, "What the fuck is wrong with this party?"
Chat,
Literally everybody in my
Irina
chat is
pipes
just
up,
like,
"Oh yeah, that's a
"These
great
people
idea.
are
I
the
love that
worst
idea."
kinds of scum of the human beings."
This is the 20th.
At this point, they're all just.
Seriously take you 23 episodes to realize that something is wrong with this party. I just want to remind you, it did take us until the very first dungeon for Guinevere to throw her underwear around. So, woohoo! I'm sorry to tell you, but
They'll
wasn't
just-
it obvious that this party is completely fucked up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
shut
knew
that
fr-
happened.
they knew. They apparently say they knew from the start, but this is a whole new type of fucked up.
This is D&D.
Yeah.
This is life.
What are you guys
Anyway.
doing? Are you guys?
Well,
Oh yeah.
What are you?
we're not going to string up the bones of dead people into freaking
Got it.
trees.
No defiling
We're
corpses.
not-
Okay.
We're
done.
not going to sacrifice
We could
the
also
guard.
bury them on the lawn.
I'm out. I'm out. If I'm not playing with bodies, I'm out.
Oh my god. We can construct a giant body.
Oh.
And then bury that.
Go on.
Win-win.
I think this is just the fuck with Botac party now.
I think so.
I think this is. I, I
Maybe.
think. I think this is the everybody
think-
hates Botec and Botec should just leave party.
I think
I feel like everybody just doesn't want Botec around.
Botec's just too
No.
easy to tease, and I think everyone knows that.
We could also take off their legs and give them to Botek as stilts.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I could also take your
completely-
kneecap and use them as stilts.
Oh.
What were we doing?
I don't know.
I completely lost the plot. What were we actually doing? We're investigating the circle. Did she find anything?
She discovered that the corpse was not magical
And that it was dead.
and that it was very dead. Botac also found the strange book, and that was about it.
Did you open the book? Botac?
Chachi?
Judgy.
One
Hello?
second, I had to do something.
Was the book
I thought you
open?
were done.
The book was pretty much burnt, right? Was there any pages in there legible or?
Are you opening it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and open up and.
You open up the book, and the book is pretty charred and ripped apart. And not just, whatever attacked these people in these chairs, or however they died, seems to be this book, something else happened to it. It is burnt, it is charred, and the few pages that could be legible in this book are scribbled out in what looks to be some sort of just charcoal or a charcoal pen or something like that. You kind of skim through the very sparse pages that are not burnt in this book. You do find one page that you have to really hold up next to the candle and squint your eyes and kind of read through the different charcoal marks all over it. But you can make out one section of it. And it reads... Actually, I'll let you read this if you want to read it out loud, or whoever wants to.
Okay. I'll read this out to the group after saying that I've pretty much found this book on one of the bodies. There's something in here legible, and it says, "There's no doubt in my mind, despite our efforts, his ascension was a success. Joining the ranks of the Dark Ones will no doubt give him the power to enact his vengeance for our betrayal. Though I know not what form it shall take,
Oh gosh,
Desire-
that did not work.
and Gornzals were slain yesterday by some lingering sect of devoted. They did not come back, which means our gifts are fading. Ulmed and his Inquisition are getting lazy after the victory with the Count, and our days are numbered. There is only one way out, but I fear its consequences. I will speak with what is left of the Undying, and that's it. Everything's been ruined from there on."
Yeah, the rest is pretty much illegible. The charcoal and the burnt edges of the pages making the rest indecipherable. I spent that entire time trying to get the window for the actual page to work so that other people could read it. I think I got it in the end.
No worries.
I
No
got
worries, all
yeah.
good.
It popped up as soon as you clicked it for
Yeah.
me.
No,
So-
for my stream.
Oh,
Oh,
Windows are hard, guys.
Windows are hard.
Thank you, Fire, for the 2 years, by the way. I wish I could give you a bigger response, but we're in the middle of D&D, and I don't want to derail it too much. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Love you, Fire. I'm grateful to have met you, too.
so these guys seem to be are they enemies of Strahd?
Possibility, but if it
Is-
speaks of undying in here, it's probably more along the lines of undead stuff like that. They might have been on Strahd's side, and whoever this uh Ulmed and his Inquisition that he has, apparently we're hunting them down. So I don't know which side is the right side on this. Probably the Ulmed in this type of situation, but
Or they both suck.
that could also be true.
Quick question. Wasn't the name of the city that everything technically started in? What was that again?
Malakarth, home of the Olmst Inquisition.
Ah. Well, guys, is it maybe a possibility that this Olmut Inquisition has something to do with the Olmst Inquisition?
Possible. They could be working together.
Or they could be the same people, but later?
Either way. Oh. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to continue exploring the house, and because there is the person still up on the second floor that did not come and answer,
Yeah.
or
Let's kick their ass.
do we want to
Um,
go to the mayor's house a little bit early and be like, hey, we found a whole bunch of your dead guards in the house and the walkers.
Nah, I think we need to keep exploring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, was that all we found in this room?
Yep, that was
All I found.
pretty much all you found. There was no weapons, no sort of. They weren't holding on to bags of any kind. It's just 5 people, some cloaks. One of them had a book on them, and an empty dais in the middle.
All right.
And now a lit candelabra.
I guess. Shall we go upstairs and say hello to our friend?
Maybe.
Okay, you guys heading upstairs?
Yep.
Sure.
Bum, 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 bum. You guys take the other set of stairs, not the one you had obviously come through. The other one leads you to. Let me grab my notes for.
Are we gonna leave that
exactly
door
what's
open,
happening.
or we should probably leave it open,
Yeah.
just so the guard sees that.
You guys, you go to mess with the rock, the one that is pressed in. You can't really unpress it. It's not unpressable. It's kind of just sunk into the wall, with the dirt kind of collapsed to the side of whatever this cave entrance was. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my once. But yeah, you don't see a way to close the door.
I mean, I
Okay,
guess
we're
that
gonna leave
works.
it open anyway.
Okay, you leave it open. Okay, yeah. I mean, you could try and like grab the rock maybe and pull it and pull it out, but that would take a little bit.
Nah.
We
We
want to
we
leave it open that when the guard comes back to
Yeah.
consciousness, he will basically see that there is this very weird room with the corpses.
I mean, he's
Yes.
been knocked out for over a week, so he should wake up anytime soon.
I like that idea that in between sessions, everything actually just like we just wait. We're just waiting around for a week.
So you guys follow this set of pretty nicely hewn stone steps upwards to the first story of the house, noticing these kind of iron sconces embedded into the wall along the way. You reach the top of the steps, only to be greeted with a wooden wall of some sort. There is a lever next to it. You guys gonna pull the lever?
I'll pull it.
You pull the lever.
Gronk.
The wooden wall in front of at the top of the stairs slides to the side, revealing the inside of what looks to be a closet. You see a few cloaks of varying sizes and some boots sitting inside a very small rectangular space. Not the fanciest of closets either. These cloaks they're gaudy, but like in a way that somebody without a lot of money would try to look fancy, if that makes any sense. It's very lowbrow, high class. Doesn't make it.
What about the boots?
The boots are pretty basic boots. It's basic boots. Nothing really fancy about them. They're pretty practical. There is one pair of very nice, what you assume to be some sort of dress shoes that somebody would take to go to some high class events.
Anybody in need of a new pair of boots?
Were these boots made for walking?
You can roll an investigation check.
Okay. Eight.
You don't know. They could have been made for tiptoeing. They could have been made for running. There's all sorts of things they could have been used for.
Bugger.
Maybe they were
That's not
used
what
as
I'll do.
big dirt scoops, like shovels,
Oh.
or like cups to hold water. Yeah, they're boots.
I don't know if they'll fit me.
Irina's falling behind you. You guys will say her like down there.
Do I see this door to get out?
Yep, there's a door over there. You open the door. All right, are you opening the door?
Yep.
Okay, door open to. You just see kind of a vestibule of some sort leading to the back door of the house. Not a whole lot going on here. Just a very plain wooden doors, plain wooden paneling.
From the back door and a doorway into the kitchen area or pantry area.
let's get a snack.
God damn it,
Sure.
Crowley.
I don't think they'll mind.
Snack time.
Just gonna try the door, see if it's locked.
You try the door. It is locked, but it looks like you can unlock it from this side.
Ah, okay. Well, I'll just unlock it and open it up then.
Okay, you unlock the door. You have seen the rooms next to this. You kind of remember it from your time before, the other room with the several beds. Which way are you guys going? Are you gonna go through that door?
Yeah.
Okay. This room also not spectacular. It's a storage room holding a lot of wooden crates, old clothing, a few barrels of maybe drinking water or something like that. Some wine barrels. You do notice that the wine barrels are emblazoned in this bright red font labeled Wizard of Wines. Red Dragon Crush.
You know? I
I love
mean,
that they have flavored wine coolers in here.
they, I don't think
Tropical
these guys
blast.
need this wine very much, you know? I think we could give it to the tavern. I think they could make much more use of it there, you know?
It would just be a little suspicious if the wine here disappeared and then the tavern suddenly had wine again, so.
Yeah, it would also be suspicious of skeletons to start rising up from the ground.
You also imagine the wine barrels would be extremely heavy and hard to carry. They're pretty
yeah.
big.
I imagine.
It's fine.
It'd be simple, okay? If we get this girl arrested, then we could just hand over all the wine to the tavern, and then most of the tavern will have some wine until we go to the other city and get the solve their problem there, and then
That would work.
job done. That's killing lots of birds with one stone.
So many
Yep.
dead birds.
Stupid crows.
Okay, where are you guys going? You gonna explore
Checking out
the room some more?
this room, probably.
You open it up. You see a very, very well-stocked pantry adjacent to the kitchen you had seen before last time you had inspected the house through the windows. This pantry is filled with all sorts of dried meats, potatoes, garlics, hearty root vegetables, things like that. Pretty well stocked. But nothing super out of the ordinary unless you wanted to inspect further.
No. It looks good for us. For now. Well then, guys, the way upstairs was that way. I remember the staircase being in the center of the house. Where's Crowley?
I don't know where Crowley is.
Crowley!
Just assume I'm always following.
So he's always
See?
you never know he's there. He's sneaking the whole time.
Do you want to go first? You're the sneakiest of us all.
Up the stairs, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Is this door unlocked?
The door is unlock.
Okay.
The door be unlock. You
Alright,
open
then
it
I
up.
guess I'll try
There's
and
nobody there.
sneak my way upstairs.
Okay, you open the door to the main staircase, which is very an interesting design. It just is three-way doors and then a staircase. It's very strange. You've noticed for such an opulent looking outside, the inside of this mansion is very practical and not sort of not as opulent as you would have thought a decently sized manor to be. At least, well, what may have once been opulent, considering the fact that it is in heavy disrepair on the outside. You check the stairs.
And no one's on the stairs or anything, right?
You look up the
So-
stairs and you do not see like a
Okay.
ghostly visage standing at the top of it or something like that.
I'm gonna try and stealth up the stairs.
Okay, roll a stealth check for me. Oh no.
A 5.
Okay, it could be
Today's
worse.
not my day.
You guys are kind of peering around the corner, watching Crowley as he sneaks up the stairs.
These stairs are just shit.
Crowley using techniques to make his footsteps very. You kind of freeze in your tracks for a second. Nobody really comes running or anything like that. Take another step. These are very old, disrepaired stairs. You make it to the top. Doesn't seem like anybody came bursting out of their rooms or anything like that, though.
Motion. I don't notice any like booby traps or anything like that at the top, do I?
Roll an investigation if you want to check for traps.
Alrighty. 13.
Buried skeletons. 13, you said?
Mm-hmm.
You make a glance about. You look for the telltale signs of traps that are common to stop intruders, booby traps and things like that. You don't see anything that you would recognize as a trap.
Okay. I'll motion to the others to start following.
I'm going to move your token to the top of the stairs there.
Is there an
You gotta,
actual...
like, scroll
okay.
up and drag.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a little confusing.
I'm zoomed in so I can actually see.
Yeah, me too.
Alright. Yeah, so I'll motion everyone else to...
Arriving at the top of the stairs, you see a room that I have to look for in my notes. You see a hallway with it's got a window at each end, wrapping around like each end kind of wrapping around the stair. It comes up into the middle of this large hallway with you can kind of just peer down the stairs from the sides. You see framed portraits and mirrors kind of just festooning the walls, just kind of in very like no one put much thought into the interior decorating. The idea of this hallway was more stuff equals fancier hallway, and there's just pictures, mirrors, more pictures, strange countryside landscapes, a picture of a person you don't recognize, two mirrors next to it, most of them warped, kind of tilted a little bit to the side, not really kept tidy or in their place at all. it's a very unsettling feeling as you step into this hallway with all the pictures of people and strange mirrors. It's like you're constantly being watched. It is, you turn to the wall, you see mirrors, portraits, eyes, just several sets of eyes watching you. It's a little unsettling.
I'm just imagining like the Scooby Doo music when they're walking around in a mansion.
It is kind of the music we have going on here. Doom, 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 doom.
Does any of these mirrors look similar to the one we found in the mayor's mansion?
They're not full length like mirrors. They're smaller mirrors, kind of maybe wider rectangular mirrors. Some of them are oval mirrors. None of them are like full body entire mirrors that like you had seen before. Just a
to be right back.
buttload of smaller mirrors. Okay. Do you want us to wait for you, Tama?
I'm still listening. I just need to go tiki.
Okay. Got you.
Thank you.
Okay. What are you guys doing? You see, also, I forgot to mention the amount of doors there are connected to this hallway. You see a door on your east, a pair of.
fuck? You just went robot.
Did
you
I
went robot.
explode? Oh, my bits are fine. My bit rate is fine. It might have been Discord.
It was probably Discord because you went very robotic, very fast.
Sorry. Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, stream was fine. That's weird. Am I okay now?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay. You notice a door on your direct east at the top of the stairs. A large pair of double doors, kind of fancier. They also have mirrors hanging off of them. To the south, you see 3 more doors, 2 on the west and 1 to the east. Actually, 4 doors. Sorry, 3 on the west. 'Cause I forgot to reveal the rest of it. There we go.
Well, when we knocked out the guard, we were at the front end of the house on the right side. Over here. Was the window that he saw like somewhere around this area of the house?
The window was, it was on the bottom right corner.
Okay. Oi, golly.
Yeah.
Person that closed the window was over in one of those rooms down at the very back.
Guys,
Down that way.
maybe 1 or 2 of us should stand guard. In case the person tries to basically loop around us and flee down the stairs, we should probably have a guard posted here to make sure they don't.
I can keep a watch out if you would like.
All right. Works for me. You said this door?
Mm-hmm.
Like this one right here. Right?
All right. Well, I'm going to walk to that door. And
As you're
Is it
walking
locked?
down the hallway, Crowley, more skeletons attack. No. You hear a heavy sound of scratching, like this noise coming from this door, and it kind of makes you jump for a second because it's directly on the opposite side of this door. Oops. This one right here.
On this one. Hmm.
Yep, the first one, or the first one past the double doors on your right as you're walking down the hallway.
I'm gonna walk back and tell them, hey, there's something behind this door to the right over here. I hear scratching. Don't know if it's a rat or
Or look, maybe.
so keep an eye out, please. I'm gonna should I try and open it?
I have no idea. I think we checked the room that I pointed out first, and then we could check the other one. I'll stand by that room just in case something tries to break out.
Alright, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna go back to this one then.
Okay. Before you open that door, I gotta take a bathroom break real quick. I gotta go to the
I
bathroom
see,
as well.
copying me.
Yeah, I'm copying Tom. I'm doing what the cool kids are doing. All the cool kids are going to the bathroom. So I
Yeah.
will
Yeah,
take.
Thomas too cool for all of us.
If you guys want to do like a quick, if anybody needs snacks or a bathroom break or something like that, now would be the time to do it. So I will be right back. Sorry.
Sure.
What's your favorite idea? Mine's being creative.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Whoops, wrong button. There we go. Oh, wait, hold on. I need my cool waffle hat. I left it in the bathroom.
Why does he take his hat off? Okay.
You're asking the right questions.
Thank you.
It's got my
Why did
logo
you take
on
your
it.
hat off?
Hmm?
Nothing.
Maybe because he went to the bathroom in the church.
Oh.
Wait, what? What are we talking
Waffles,
about?
is your bathroom a church?
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, I guess. It's like the sanctity of a church.
Mm. That's why you took your hat off.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I take my hat off?
Yeah.
Look, my head itches sometimes.
Please, got it.
Yeah, I got fleas. They're on to me. Is everybody still here, or did everybody take a break?
No, we're here. I think.
Is Chachi?
I'm here. I'm here.
Chachi here? Schmoodle here?
Then everybody's here. What?
I'm here.
Schmoodle's here. Okay. All right, picking back up. Okay. You check the door. It opens. You go inside. Actually, wait, hold on. Oh God, no, jeez, what have I done to
Well,
Crowley?
I gained some weight.
I made
Got
Crowley
it.
huge. I was trying to see something really quick.
Oh boy, he coming.
I take it back. It does not open. What? Rewind. You try the handle and it's locked. Because.
Then I shall try and unlock it with my thieves' tools.
All right. Roll your thieves' tools.
And that's what, dexterity?
Dexterity modifier plus your proficiency modifier.
What the fuck? Well, without the proficiency, it's already a 6, so whatever.
Your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency modifier? What did you
Yeah, my
what did you
dex-
roll on the dice? On the die?
A 6.
A
But with
6.
my proficiency, that's only an 8 anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Plus your proficiency plus your dexterity modifier. What's your dexterity modifier?
Plus 2? Oh, so even then it's what, a 10?
That's a 10, which is exactly
Yeah.
what you need.
Oh, okay.
You struggle a little bit with this lock. The door is not exactly
Wait.
in.
It says he rolled a 2 on D&D Beyond, and then got +4 from his stats to equal 6.
Oh, did you roll a 2 on your
That-
die?
Yeah, that's what... I thought it was the total plus 6 plus...
No, it already adds up all the stuff.
Even the proficiency it does? Because it didn't add the
Yeah.
2.
If you roll it, if you rolled your dexterity, it'll roll with the default dexterity modifier, and then you just add the proficiency. There's a way to set it
so
up where you
regardless,
just
it's
click on
only
thieves
8.
tools and it'll do it, but yeah.
And then it's only 8, I guess. Because plus my proficiency bonus, it would be 6 plus 8.
You go to try the lock, and it turns out that this lock is a little janky. These doors are old, and the locks are in particular disrepair, and you struggle for a little bit. And you think for a second it's the snap of your lock pick unlocking the door, but that's the sound of your lockpick breaking.
Great. I'm gonna just go back and report to the others that the door won't budge. Do they want me to kick it down? Because at this point he's irritated.
Go for it.
All right.
Do
If
it.
we're gonna kick it down, should Gwen kick it down?
Move out the way.
All right.
You can do it with me. buddy, if
Hammer
you wanna
lady coming
release some
through.
tension.
All right. Can we both go and try
Yeah.
and break it down?
Yeah, let's go together. Let's do a little.
3,
both
2,
of
1.
you,
just
both of you
kick as
roll
hard
a
as you
straight
can.
strength check to try and smash down this door.
What the actual fuck today?
Oh no, the dice are. Do you have my?
4. I
Do you
don't-
have my dice from yesterday, or from not yesterday, last stream with my skeletons? You've taken my curse.
Is it a saving throw? Where is it again? I forgot.
It's
On
not
the
saving
check.
throw. You should just be able to click on there. There's a
Click on your
Oh,
modifier.
I see
On
it.
the modifier
I see
itself,
it.
the
I
strength
see
modifier.
it. I see it. I see it.
It's the top 6
Oof,
little boxes up
20,
top, right?
baby.
20.
Quinn just walks through the door.
Just like a outline of a dragonborn. Just Crowley is more than frustrated by now, and he's sort of just like open, and he's kind of like slamming into it. Gwyn, you just kind of take your hammer and smash through this door. Yeah, the door just shreds to splinters with the power of your great hammer.
Yes.
Yeah, it is no match for your great hammer, and you you guys hear Irina from the bottom of the stairs, who's on lookout. Are you guys okay? What's happening up there?
Don't worry
Eh.
about it, my lady.
A
got
door
you.
didn't want to open.
Don't worry, it's only a B&E.
Just be careful. Actually, because Irina's down here, she's going to be rolling a perception check for a lookout. She rolled pretty good that time. I don't hear anything at the moment. But just be careful.
Yes.
TTRPG, thank you for the 2 months. Hey, I remember you. Thank you. On the other side of the door, you see what looks to be a master bedroom of some sort. Immediately, you don't see anybody waiting for you on the other side or somebody with a weapon or something like that standing to confront you. But you do see across from the door a fire kind of is not entirely out. It is kind of sputtering a little bit and struggling for life, but still warm. Above which hangs a framed family portrait. You see a noble father and mother, their 2 young sons, and a baby daughter in a father's arms. Their sons are smiling in a way that suggests mischief. And the parents look like uncrowned royalty. They're very regal in their poses. You see wood paneling covers the walls of the room. A closet and a framed mirror are opposite of a curtained window. To the north, a wide canopy bed lies pinned between these matching end tables with oil lamps. Stretched out on one side of the bed is a man dressed in black. He doesn't seem to be moving, just laying down in the bed. Didn't even respond to your smashing a hammer through the door, apparently.
Guys,
Yes, what you see?
I see a man.
I don't know. I see you, man.
I mean, you got 2 of them over here, but good to know that he's still in there.
He doesn't seem to be moving. I mean, I did just destroy his door, and he's not moving, and he's lying on the bed, and he's all dressed in black and stuff. And it's all pretty ominous looking. I don't know if anyone wants to help me have a second opinion, maybe.
He could be sleeping. Let's check.
Botek,
I just smashed the door.
yeah.
I mean, I just smashed the door.
Look, there are heavy sleepers out there.
You
Just
mean he's
saying.
drugged?
Out of the way.
Thank you.
We gotta come and check anyway.
Botak, you enter the room and you see the same things that Gwyn did, but as you approach the man, you notice that his eyes are both covered with copper pieces. Man
Well, that's strange.
lies there in a very restful pose, lifeless.
What's
Uh,
strange? Oh.
I'm gonna check his pulse on his hand.
Roll a medicine check.
That's a 9.
9. He doesn't have a pulse. He's dead.
Oh. Okay. So 2 things. Number 1, it's very strange that this person has copper pieces over their eyes.
Cool.
Very weird place to keep your money. But I guess if you want to keep an eye on it, okay.
Would it be common knowledge
Uh,
that that's a burial tradition for some people?
Yeah, it's pretty common knowledge. The copper pieces over the eyes.
Okay.
Generally, a
And
ritual for the departing.
second thing is that he is pretty dead. He does not have a pulse.
You also notice
I-
he bears a striking resemblance to the father in the painting above the hearth.
Yeah,
Mm.
Botek, the copper pieces generally mean that they're dead. It's a burial thing.
Ah.
Yeah, it's to have, when you get to the afterlife, you have safe passage and pay the ferryman to the underworld, if that's where you're going.
You do notice, even with your very low medicine check, this is a pretty immaculate looking corpse. This guy has died recently. Like the body is very fresh. Rigor mortis hasn't set in. You can kind of just grab the hand and then it just drops down. There are no signs of decay on the body whatsoever.
Uh,
Question: do we know that guy?
Other than the fact that he looks very similar to the person in the painting, no, you don't recognize him.
Okay.
never seen him. So he must have died recently. I want to kind of guess. I want to guess on this because I'm not entirely sure. Because there might be something else, but he is probably dead. I want to say within 4, maybe 5 days. That's a complete guess. That's a complete guess.
I would probably say fresher than that. Can I say that?
You can roll a medicine check too if you want. If you want to
Thanks.
examine the body.
Touchy touchy.
Don't say that when you're examining a body.
I mean,
Yeah, don't say that
11,
when you're
I'm
examining
sorry.
a dead guy's body.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's dead.
That's creepy.
He's for a body to be this fresh, he would have had to die. You're pretty actually surprisingly. Gwyn is very well rehearsed in knowing what dead bodies look like. This you would surmise has not been longer dead than a day.
Yeah, no longer than a day, I would say.
Is there any obvious cause for the death?
I usually don't want 3 checks on the thing, but I'll let it go for this time. You can also roll a medicine check if you want.
Okay. Where's my medicine stat? 22.
22.
That was my hair roll for the day.
You examine the body, and you're not very trained in the medical aspects of dead corpses or anything like that, but you are trained in particular aspects of unnatural causes of death. And you kind of examining the body, you see no wounds or anything like that. Nothing that would have caused this person to just drop dead. You know, there's no stab wounds, no, the mouth isn't even swelled up or anything. The tongue isn't swelled up from signs of poisoning, any such thing. But I will say, because you rolled so high on your medicine check, roll an Arcana check for me.
An Arcana check. Oh, there I have an even higher modifier. 16.
16. You do know of ways to preserve bodies. You've witnessed such things before, where people do not want their loved ones to be buried right away, and they preserve the bodies. They have clerics preserve the bodies for future burial rites. And this corpse seems too immaculate to be. This is a corpse that has been preserved for a burial rite. You would assume.
Okay. Guys, this one might be dead for quite a while now. It looks like it has been magically preserved.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Probably longer than I thought then.
It's hard to guess how long it is dead, because well, these preserving spells can last quite a long time. But yeah, he's dead.
But yeah, he dead.
He did done dad.
Yeah, you also surmise. I don't know if I covered that. He is dead.
Well,
He's very dead.
Okay.
time to search the body. Touchy, touchy.
Quick.
It is D&D.
If he's the one that's been sitting here dead in this place, then who closed the window curtain?
And who scratched the thing?
Nosferatu.
That's all right. Well,
The
while I
closet
was
just
going
opens up.
through-
Oh, you got me.
Yeah. Well, she said the who scratched the thing. She basically turns around and opens this door.
Okay. You open the door of this kind of closeted area in the corner, and you see shelves of like fancy footwear, fine garments, kind of the same gaudy garments you had seen in the closet downstairs. Opulent, almost too opulent, like trying to make themselves look very fancy. You see, interestingly enough, you see a very white, what looks like a ceremonial robe with the clasp bearing the skull sigil you had seen downstairs. You also see
Look,
several shelves above the clothes. You see just some chests, some what looks like maybe shoe boxes or something like that. Few chests carrying odds and ends above above the clothes, and then more boots, more boots underneath that. That's about it.
So many boots in this house. Anybody wants a pair?
Always use a good pair of boots.
Nah, I'm good.
Victoria's gonna go through the boxes to see what's inside if there's anything useful.
You grab one of the boxes from the top shelf, kind of sliding it off, checking it. You go to open it. It seems like a pretty heavy wooden box, and you doesn't open.
Crowley!
Didn't my thieves' tools break? Or do I have more?
You have multiple lockpicks to your thieves' tools.
Okay.
I will say your thieves' tools themselves didn't break, but if you fail it a whole bunch of times, they will eventually break.
Okay. Then I'll try and open it, I guess.
Okay. Roll your thieves' tools. The dexterity modifier plus your proficiency modifier.
Alrighty, and that's the top boxes up top,
Yeah.
right? The strength, dexterity,
Yes,
cons.
it is
okay.
a heavy wooden box with a pretty intricate looking lock. It might take a little bit of effort.
Okay.
Like this, you do notice about this box, it is pretty
21.
decoratively carved. It is pretty fancy.
Well,
21.
there's even a 23 because you forgot your proficiency.
23. Crowley, you go to, you put your thieves' tools into the lock, and kind of frustrated from your last failure with your lock picks, you concentrate extra hard this time. The lock is undone. You hear the satisfying click of the lock being undone. And you go to open the chest. And as you do,
It's Pandora's box.
you hear this chink metal noise of a needle extending out from the lock, piercing directly into your hand as you try and open the chest. You're gonna take if I can find the right. Give me 1 second here. I can't find my dice. There we go. You're gonna take 12 poison damage. And roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Three.
Uh-oh.
You are going to be poisoned. So you
It was
you
right in my hand or in like my
It was right into
finger.
your hand, so that when you went to go open the chest, it just shot out from where the lock was and went to inject this. You see now, looking down at the needle, a strange green filament covering it, kind of dripping a little bit, and you kind of instinctively rear back. And you suddenly feel slightly woozy as the poison courses through your veins. You're going to be poisoned for an hour.
Great.
Which the poison status effect means you're going to be rolling disadvantage on all your checks. And hold on, I'll have to double check the poison, but it's not good. You're gonna roll disadvantage on your checks for the time being.
Not that it matters. I've already been rolling bad. It doesn't matter.
It also makes you roll at disadvantage for attacks.
Yes, and attacks. Sorry, that's probably the most
Now,
important
on
part of
D&D
poison.
Beyond,
You roll
how do
disadvantage
I-
for attacks.
How do I roll disadvantage? Do I roll twice?
You roll
Or
twice
is
and
there
take the
one-
lowest of the
Right-click
two.
on the thing.
Okay.
If you right-click on
Yeah.
the thing, you can basically select to roll with disadvantage.
Yeah, if you right click on it, you can decide to roll with advantage or disadvantage.
Always roll with advantage.
Always pick advantage.
If possible, pick advantage for rolling.
All right. And do I take damage from being poisoned?
You took
Over
the
time, or
12
just-
poison damage. You don't take any other
Yeah.
damage other than that. Just the
Okay.
initial 12 poison damage.
Is the box open?
Kotek, do you want to suck out the poison?
I'm not trained to do that.
Is the box open or just I got stabbed?
Yes, inside the box, you see, as you kind of react
we
for a
see a
second.
robot?
Do you see what?
We see a Robo Waffles?
Oh my! Is a Discord dying again?
Yep.
Beep boop beep boop.
Beepity
Didn't
boop.
back on
Sorry.
me.
Technical difficulties.
Yep. Now you're back though.
Okay, am I back? Okay, that's good. Yeah, it must be Discord because my stream is doing okay. My stream is totally
here.
frame happy.
Stream's completely
Um,
fine. And actually, nothing was wrong with my Discord that time. I heard you perfectly.
Might be either the it's probably the link between the European and American servers dying then. Sometimes does that.
I was fine.
I don't know then. It's going to be weird sometimes.
Anyway,
You look inside the box and you see it is lined with several sheets of what seems to be lead. You kind of try and lift them up and they're very heavy. You kind of take one out after the other. And at the bottom of this chest, which is also lined in lead, the edges of it just completely lined, you see a group of bones. What looks to be leg bones, a few ribs from a rib cage, chunks of a spine, all kind of strewn about in this box.
Are those the bones?
Botek, can you feel anything holy from these bones?
let's see if I can. I'm gonna go up and put my hand over top of them. And
Roll a-
cast a holy symbol.
Are you using a spell or are you just kind of like, do I sense the morning lord?
Yeah, do I sense the morning one? Because I don't think I have any spell to just like
I will
use
say
magic.
roll a religion check.
Already. Wait. Oh, 7.
7. You kind
I
of
am not connected to this person.
you reach out, hold the symbol forward. Kind of try and sense any holy energy coming off of this object, anything that would even bear resemblance to your god of the sun, or maybe the morning lord, which you do notice bear a lot of the same similarities. So you sense a little bit of connection there between the morning lord and Tolvirin, the lord of the god of the sun. But either there's something blocking it or there's nothing there. You don't sense holy powers, though such things are usually even for well-trained paladins and devoted paladins is usually hard to do without some kind of magic influence to try and get a read on such
Let me
holy
think. Let me
things.
think. Wait, hold on. Let me. Ooh. Okay, I wanna do this then. Can I do divine sense?
You can, yeah, sure.
I heard divine simps.
That's a whole different. We
That's
don't
a
talk
whole
about divine
different
sims.
category. That's a whole different category. I don't have any of those.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
I go like I sense a small connection. Hold on, let me go stronger. I just divine sense it.
Okay, so divine sense I think works like detect good and evil, right? Where you can see any
Yeah.
location of celestial fiend undeads, that kind of thing,
So
or
you detect
something
good
that's
and
been
evil until the end of your next turn. You can see anything affected by the hollow spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. It is not behind total cover.
or an object that's been consecrated or desecrated.
Yeah.
Okay, you're kind of like, okay, let's channel the energy of Tolvarin, and you hold out your holy symbol, the sun rising over the horizon, and kind of think, call back to Tolvarin, god of the sun. Feel his energy channel through it, and you feel a blinding presence of holy energy coming off of these bones. It's almost too much once you finally open the inner channels of uh, your chi, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Once you really connect to Tolvarin, you can indeed sense the power of some sort of holy divinity coming off of these bones.
Ahem. In two words, my eyes. I'm blinded. Oh, that's so strong. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are definitely the bones. Those are definitely the bones. Uh,
Cool.
that remind me not to do that again. Up this close. Jesus.
So you're saying we got some Android's bones here?
Yeah. This is 100% Saint Andrew. If these aren't the bones of Saint Andrew, then I can swear to you right now, that they are nowhere else in the entire city. They
Okay.
are 100% gone if these are not it. So,
Guess we should probably get these back to the church ASAP.
You look down at the bones, and
yeah.
to you, they just, boy, those are just bones. Those look almost no different from the skeletons you saw downstairs. Like a femur.
Yeah, let's get them back, and then can we kill these bastards?
Yeah, I'm with you, Crowley. Let's. I want to like. Glenn, you want to bonk these people?
We just roll up to the mansion. The old lady's there too, and we just start wrecking shit. Just
We
get the
bonked your
whole
skeletons, we can bonk you too.
bitch.
Or we just roll up to the dinner with the mayor and we just are like, hey, by the way, we brought you a gift, and we just plop the head of the old doctor lady on his table.
Yeah, he would probably be pleased about that.
So I'm just gonna like pick up all the bones and just put them all in my backpack.
Okay, you should just take the bones and shove them in your backpack. You just
Yeah.
just
I
scoop
don't want to
them
be
in.
seen.
Is there maybe
I
a
don't
piece
want to be
of cloth?
seen in town walking around with a big pile of bones in my arms, being like, "Yep,
Is
that would be
is there
suspicious as fuck."
question,
Listen,
Waffles,
they've
is there
seen weirder.
is there maybe a piece of cloth or something we can wrap them into before we put them into Botek's bag?
You've got a whole
so
closet full of
they
cloth.
don't just they don't just fly around everywhere.
Yeah,
Can
you
we
can find.
put
There's a thin
Botek
enough
in the dress now?
cloak in this closet.
No. I now have
Okay,
the
so
same
you
backpack.
grab the bones, you wrap them in the cloth, and then shove them in your backpack.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You now have a bunch of bones.
All right. Let's get back to the church with these right away, and then go to the dinner with the mayor.
Yep. And then we can just send the mayor here
Yep.
because that's a lot of dead people for one house.
I like how you're worried about that now and not when we were down there fighting them.
But let's keep the bones hidden from him too.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna tell him that we found the bones.
We'll let him deal with the old lady, and then we'll deal with him.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys do?
Annoying prick.
We're hightailing out. We're
You guys are like,
we
we
should
got the bones. Let's
full
go.
we should be full on just bailing, just sprinting downstairs, not giving a fudge.
Yeah,
about
we're
anything.
fucking booking it. We don't have
Okay.
time.
Yep.
As you walk by the door again, Botek, you hear the scratching noises again, and this time it's scratching. As you slide past the door on the west.
I don't know if I should open that.
What if she has a prisoner too? But at the same time, I don't want to get screwed here.
Yeah, we have the bones. I don't want to risk anything right
Let's-
now. I say we bail.
Let's bail, and then we can come back and
Yeah, we'll come back with maybe the mayor and the entire town guard and just turn this place upside down.
Okay, you guys all just booking it then?
Okay.
Okay.
Mm,
I'm not even being stealthy, not even being quiet. I am just like going down and pretty much crashing through the doors.
Okay, Irina's down here. What did? Okay.
I read it.
I'm
Look,
not
great
sure-
news. We probably unlocked the chest and it had the bones of Saint Angela in there. We're going back to the church. Come on.
Oh,
We need to go.
okay. That is good news. Yes. All right then. And she follows right along behind you. Okay, you guys. Are you guys gonna book it to the? You're just like, let's go.
Yep,
Straight-
we're
Let's
fucking
go.
booking it. Anyone gets in our way, we're gonna fucking
Where
murder
where are you booking? Where are you booking it to?
the church.
The church.
The church. Okay.
Exactly, like Scooby Doo running for the gang, just running for their lives.
oh,
Just
look.
Like, let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here. Okay. I see Valaki is still covered in graffiti.
Love.
Yeah, love. Valentine's Day love.
Again, by
That's
the
what that
way.
is.
Yes.
And a pair of panties, apparently. just gonna delete the love real quick.
oh,
No.
you deleted us.
Deleted everybody.
Well, goodbye, friends. Wait, hold on. Okay.
We're lost. We're gone.
Hold on, because I don't want to go hunting down your icon again. So let me delete this the old-fashioned way, one at a
Just rip
time.
us and then delete it.
That's true. I could do that. Get over there. All right. Yeah, you guys full on sprinting
Full
across town?
100% just booking.
Okay.
I would say we're fast marching. We're not running to preserve
I
Power
am-
walking.
I am 100% running.
Okay. Botak has to
anybody-
really move.
Anybody that tries to stop me, I am shoulder checking.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, Botek has relatively short legs, so his running is probably a fast march for other people.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys book it across town. You guys take off towards the church, bones in tow. You guys pass by several of the townsfolk avoid you as usual. It is not a whole entirely different affair. The guards do watch you run past, and some of them move to try and like move into your direction. Hey, and you're just gone by the time they even like.
Bye.
Well, one of those guards approaches them and like that. Thuxora basically yells at him, inform the burgomaster that we're on the way to his mansion. It's important. Let him know to to gather the guard and be ready.
You kind of see the guard look confused for a moment and begin to move towards you, but by the time you're gone, they just you're looking back and they turn around and confusingly head off into another direction. Yeah, you guys make it relatively unimpeded, other than a few call outs from the guards to the Church of Saint Angel, which has stopped its morning prayer. It's getting towards evening now, after your entire debacle in the underground of the basement and exploring that mansion. It's getting kind of later in the day, and you open the doors to the church. The huge, massive doors that can, and of course it takes a little bit of effort to open them up as they're closed for the day, but you do so. You don't see Father Lucian in there, or Father Petrovich. Lucian, that was the other. Father Petrovich, sorry. But you do see a small child, the one you had seen before, kind of lighting candles and other such things. Kind of what seems to be someone who helps prepare the church for the morning kind of rituals and hymns, and they're kind of snuffing out candles and things like that as you enter the building. Other than that,
Hey kids, where's the father?
I can go get him for you.
That would be nice.
Yes, please. It's very
Tell him
important.
that it's very important and that we have very good news.
Okay. He kind of looks at you all very worriedly and confused all at the same time, and doesn't say anything else and just turns around immediately and heads towards the back door. It's a few moments before you see Father Petrovich come outside of the back door of the cathedral. Ah, yes. Hello. What brings you here so late in the evening?
Father, you will be very happy about this. I just pull out a backpack and take out the cloth, start unraveling and just show him. Just like we went through the Walker's house and we found the bones, the bones of Saint Andrew. I've confirmed it myself.
You found them. You bring them here. Let me see. And he takes the bones and he examines them and looks over them. And where did you said you found these at the Wachter house?
Yes.
I should have known. And he takes them. Do you mind?
They're yours, right?
Thank you. And he grabs the bundle and he immediately just takes off, turns around, heads towards the back room, shuts the door behind him. And you guys don't hear a thing for like 5 whole minutes of just pure silence. Another couple minutes go by. A few more minutes later. And you hear the door open again. And Father Petrovich comes outside. Thank you. Thank you for returning them. I don't know what to say or how to thank you properly. We have to go to the Burgomaster.
We were on the way there, anyways.
We were about ready to head there because not only did we find these bones there, we found the bones of several guardsmen there in her basement. With a live one too. He was unconscious and tied up.
Yeah, he was
I
there
don't
the
know
whole
what
time.
she was gonna. Yeah, I don't know what she was gonna do with them.
Roll a deception check.
This is gonna go very poorly. This is gonna go very. Poorly. 14.
14. It wasn't a high modifier, but still. Okay. Right. Yes, Vargas will want to hear about this. He's been looking for a reason to go after Wachter for a while now.
Oh boy, is he gonna be happy with us?
And I am coming with you. Lead the way.
All right, let's go.
Very well.
Let us.
All right. You guys are going straight for the Burgomaster's mansion. You take off. You head towards his mansion. You are briefly stopped by one of the guards as he kind of halt. Where are you going?
Your mom's house. We're going to the Burgomaster's, idiot.
We're going to have dinner with the Burgomaster.
Do they not have good communication lines here? I swear to God.
It's like they don't talk to each other.
And you kind of get the exact same read from this guy. Very, very kind of tuned out from everything else. He's very emotionless, very oblivion NPC guard.
Oh god.
I will take you to him. And he kind of turns around. You will follow.
Yes,
And
of
begins
course we will.
heading in the direction that you guys were heading.
How fast is he going?
Normal walk speed.
Oh come on.
We're basically gonna power walk, and as soon as we're about to overtake him, we're like, "Come on, move faster, buddy.
He does
Otherwise,
not
we'll beat
respond
you to it."
at all.
All
He
right,
is-
then. We'll meet you there. God.
Hey, you wait, hold. And you
Then
guys
hurry up.
just are taking off. Irina is looking. Are you sure this is the best? Hold on. I'm not used to long runs.
Gwen picks up
not about
Irina
those.
and runs off with her and
You just
Wow.
kind of. Oh, okay. And she is. You just kind of toss her over your shoulder really quick.
come, my lady.
Okay. She seems exasperated in the
butterfly.
moment.
Can Botek theoretically carry the guard?
Do you want to just grab the guard and be like, "Come on"?
I mean, we don't really need him.
Fair point.
Okay. All right, yeah, you guys just book it over towards the burgomaster's mansion. It doesn't take you a whole large amount of time before you're there. Um, there are guards posted outside of his mansion, though, and when you run up to his mansion, they immediately drop their spears. What are you doing here?
We have an appointment with the burgomaster for dinner and potentially for raiding another person's house. So let him know that we're here.
Be quick about it.
You see another one to their right on the other side of the door, and they look at each other for a moment. Wait here, the other one says. And he goes inside of the house. He's gone for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and no sign of anything happening. It's just quiet with this single female guard sitting there staring at you with a spear pointed downwards towards you.
Is it the guard that we hit with the rock the other day?
You kind of look at her and you do recognize the face.
Oh no.
But she doesn't seem to recognize yours, considering you were hidden at the moment.
I don't recognize anything.
Another 5 minutes goes by. And you suddenly hear the doors of the mansion just burst open. Just like not even it completely slam open. They kind of hit the sides of their hinges and kind of move back a second as you see Ezek just standing upright. The bulk of his frame kind of takes the entire doorway, and behind him a very balding, very much tinier in comparison, Baron Vargas Velagovich. Step aside, Isaac. And wordlessly, Ezek steps aside, and the Baron marches down the steps. You are early for dinner. What seems to be the problem? You're interrupting.
Have any of your guardsmen been going missing recently? Or maybe not so recently, they look pretty old.
Why do you ask?
We paid Fiona Wachter a little unannounced visit. And in her basement, we made the acquaintance with the skeletons of 6, 7, 8, 9 potentially guardsmen. They at least looked like them, judging by what they were wearing. These skeletons were very alive and very unhappy to see us. We had to take them apart, but yeah.
We also found one guard in there alive and tied up unconscious.
Yes.
I see. This is some information that makes me very happy to hear. I'm glad that you have come to me right away. Ezek. And the lumbering Ezek kind of steps down the stairs next to the Baron. You see him emotionless, kind of standing there. We are going to the Wachter Mansion. Ezek? And you see Ezek, he seems to almost be ignoring the Baron. His eyes are directly locked onto Irina. Just silent, staring. Ezek, summon the guards. Ezek, you useless lump of... And he kind of just shoves the Baron aside. And you see the Baron kind of... and stumble down to his knees. And as this huge lumbering man just, like a rag doll, shoves him aside, he just stares at Irina and begins moving towards your group. What do you guys do?
Stand in front of her.
Yep.
Okay.
Same.
You all stand in front of Irina as Ezek moves towards her. His huge demon arm kind of flares up for a second, and briefly you see a hint of fire flash through his arm. Step aside.
How about no, sport?
Let us know what you want from Irina first.
You are the one I see in my dreams. I recognize you. And you can see like this brief flash of humanity in his eyes. Like this instant where this completely, iron-faced, completely emotionless figure. Like you see this longing for a moment in his face. And then he just begins, you see him, like his chest moving up and down with heavy breathing. You are the one. Ezek! You can hear the Baron as he shouts out towards Ezek. You will listen to me this instant, or I will have you taken out like the rest of your kin. Ezek, do you hear me? He looks towards the Burgomaster, and then looks towards your
This is the
group.
point.
What
This is
was
the
that?
point where I'm really sad about the fact that I did not pick a silent field, whatever thingamabob, because then I could just shut up the Burgomaster.
I mean, we can tell him to shut the fuck up.
Fair point, but yep. No, Thuxora basically just is like, or makes a hand gesture along the lines of ignore the Burgomaster, and she addresses Isak and basically is like, what do you see in your dreams about her?
You're just asking him? Okay.
Yep.
He looks towards the Baron as he's shouting out at him. And then he turns back to you. I see her. I see her taken by the wolves. I am left there in the mist. And I am filled with longing. And you see, like, his face, the whatever depiction of emotion is in his eyes just suddenly vanishes, and you just see kind of this. He goes back to this stern face, kind of rage, and he just and he heads straight for you guys, and he moves to push you guys aside. What do you do?
Thuxora
Firm.
signals the others to stand down. I don't think he wants to harm her.
What are the rest of you guys doing? What do you do? Crowley and Gwyn?
Thuxora, do the thing.
How far away is the Burgomaster?
The Burgomaster he's right up the steps. I would say he's about like 15 feet away from you guys. Not very far.
And how far away is Isaac?
Izek is right in your face. Izek is like, he is marching straight towards Irina, regardless of what obstacles are in the way. You are like a wall to him, and he's moving directly towards him. Straight through the wall.
No, because I can absolutely not decide if I should do the thing on the Burgomaster or on Isaac.
Why would you do it on him when you should
on the
do it on
Burgomaster?
Yeah.
Because I can.
Don't you have 2 mage hands?
No, only one.
No.
Sir Fraser. Sir
I
Fraser.
like how it's do the thing though.
I mean, she knows.
Irina out of the way first before you do the thing.
You're gonna grab Irina?
Yeah.
Okay. You grab Irina. What are you doing with her? She kind of
Picking her up and tossing her onto my shoulders.
Okay, Irina's back. Oh, again, okay. Gwyn?
Thurxora is gonna attempt the Thurxora hands on Isaac. Just roll the dice to decide. The dice says Isaac is the one who shall puke.
You're gonna try and puke. You're gonna try and puke him. Roll a sleight of hand. Yeah, you're gonna try and use the patented.
They also call Thurxora Duke Pukem.
I've never been more proud of you.
Oh my god! What?
Oh my god.
What'd you roll?
19.
19. He rolled like crap on his constitution check.
Yay.
You see, you kind of, as he's marching towards you, and Thurxora, you kind of force the invisible mage hand, kind of just reach it down there as usual with Duke Pukem's special attack. And you can see he's like kind of and you see him like regain this. If nothing, he seems even more infuriated by the fact. And he just swings in the nearest person's direction, which would probably be you, Thurxora.
Thurxora never stood in the line.
Whoever
would
is in
be
front,
That would be
Botac,
me.
I will say at this point, we're gonna roll initiative. Because he's attacking.
I think
Oh.
it was probably inevitable.
Yeah.
Initiative.
That's a natural 20.
Thank you, Deadly.
Natural 20.
I got a 12.
I got a 4.
Okay, let's go to the random. I don't have a battle map set up
Should've had
for
you heal me before.
in front of the Virgo Master's mansion, so we're gonna go to a random battle map.
Question: Did the poison
just
wear
go to
off
the-
by now?
Yeah, why
You're
don't we
still
just go
poisoned.
to the mansion?
Yeah, we could just go to this mansion, can't we?
It is
We
where
could go to
are.
the mansion, but I don't know if there would be enough because you're in the middle of the street at the moment. But yeah, I can bring you to the mansion. Let's see. We'll give you the mansion
Oh,
plus
I thought
extra.
we were like, I thought we were just sitting in front of his door.
You're
waiting for him.
about 25 feet away from the mansion, but yeah. Let's go to the mansion. I think there should be enough extra room, so that's probably a good idea. Let's do that. Let's give you. I think I can increase the canvas a little bit, so let me try and do that. Virgo Master's Mansion, width
We're all
30.
Wait, wait.
Let's do 45 cells. Should give us extra room there. Sweet. All right, it's not covered by a grid, but it's let me reveal it for you real quick. There we go, just white space. It'll be white space for now because I didn't have anything set up for this.
It's okay.
All right.
Alright.
The guard is no longer
Nope.
there. Actually, the guard is there. So this is actually pretty... and then the Baron is over here. So let me get Baron Vargas. Where's Baron Vargas? He's not in alphabetical order like all my other stuff is. So... Oh, he's under Baron. He's B for Baron. Got it. Okay. And then Ezek. Right here. Big old firearm himself.
Brain, you want to be up here?
Yeah, so Irina is over your shoulder, Gwyn. So you are essentially grappling Gwyn Irina right now. So, all right, I think everything's good. Let me, boop, there we go. And get everything ready to rock. Let me
Alright.
replay the music. There we go. Okay. All right, let me roll for Ezek and the Baron and the guard. Ezek rolled poopy doopy. He did not roll well, which is good for you guys. Oh, I'm getting double music for some reason. Hold on.
Same.
Double musicking. Sorry. Okay. What did... Let me... add turns. Hold on. It won't let me add any turns. Give me a second. Let me add turns. Oh, you have to do it with the tokens. That's right. Okay. Add you, add you, add you, add you, add you, add you. All right, starting with Botak. What did you roll?
A natural 20.
Heck yeah. Plus your dexterity modifier.
0.
All right, so 20. Got it. Crowley?
What was it? 12? 12.
12. Okay. Permission to link to Isaac token? Sure. Yeah. If yeah, that's totally fine. Nightbot won't spank you for any links. It just kind of warns you. It's fine. It doesn't have any power. you can tug over Nightbot. It's fine. You can post links. You're totally good, Sir Fraser. Okay, and then Therxora?
Wow, Fraser. I got a 4.
4? Okay.
Yep.
Gwyn?
I also got a 12.
12. All right. Irina rolls. What's her dex modifier? This one. All right. She got a 12 as well. So you can go before Irina. Vargas.
Oh,
Vargas rolled a natural 1. Plus his dex modifier, which is actually 1. He's a sprightly dude. Vargas has a 2. Guard.
So, question. Are the guards on our side then?
I'm hoping.
He's completely disobeying an order.
And the guard rolls a 7. Okay. Oh, and then the most important of all, Ezek. Wait. I already rolled for Ezek. Ezek rolled an 11. Plus his dex modifier. Okay. So, There we go. Botak, you're up first. Well, actually, I should say Izek gets a surprise round on you guys since he did swing first. So everybody's surprised. The way surprise round works is you guys all have the surprise reaction, and then he just goes. So, Botak, Izek gonna swing a big fist at your face for the first round.
Bring it.
That is a. That is a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That's gonna hit? Okay. Alright then. Get all my buttloads of dice here.
Why? You only need one day. You only need one day.
It's okay. You're gonna take 10 points of damage.
That's still hard. That's a good amount.
He's gonna swing again. 17 again. He rolled the exact same. He kind of just. You see him launch. You guys are surprised by the speed at which Izek swings his massive demon arm. Like, you would think this bulky guy isn't gonna move in a very sprightly fashion. You would be very wrong. He wham slams his fist into you, Botak, and then he brings up his left fist and punches you again. You're gonna take the 10 damage and then another 5 damage from his 2 fist attacks. And
Okay.
he pulls out his axe and gets ready to fight you guys.
Oh wait, that was with his fist. Oh shit. Oh no.
Yeah, that was just his fist. I didn't do the axe damage. All right. Going through the round. All right. It is to you, Botak. You're first on the turn order.
Right. Let's see. I'm gonna be using bonus action to cast Thunder Smite.
I see that, Sir Fraser. What you posted, by the way, was just the Binding of Isaac sprite. Thank you.
Yes, we want that for his token.
He's just big crying sad man.
Do that, and then the maul will be coming down. Ooh, that's
What
a
was-
23.
What was the attack roll?
23 to hit,
Yeah, that hits.
and with Thunder Smite. So let's see. First off, the maul. You know, do we want to do this? Do we want to go big and ham real fast, guys? So it could do another thing.
I think the quicker
Yeah,
we take the
yeah.
fucker down, the better.
Probably.
And then we remove his arm so we can eat it and gain his powers. That's been the plan this entire time.
I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here so you guys can
we're
actually
just
see
gonna use
difference. There we
another.
go.
We're gonna use a second spell slot.
Okay.
We're going Divine Smite plus Thunder Smite. So I'm going to be doing another. So first off, the maul damage, the regular maul damage is 11.
Okay.
Divine Smite, if he's undead or a fiend, no, not that one. He's going to take an extra D8, but it's 2 D8s,
Okay.
and that is
He is not undead or fiend, so
He-
just the
darn.
normal damage.
He's going to take another 6 divine, and then the spell of Thunderous Smite, 2d6 extra. 10. So that's a grand total of 27 damage.
Okay. 27, you said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bojack
You-
with the nuclear bonk.
You kind of take the 2 punches from Izek.
I can punch hard too.
Yeah, you bring your maul back around in retaliation. Your maul glows with this brilliant light, and you just wham! This radiating light blasts out from the maul, and Ezek is sent for a brief moment. Ezek is sent reeling, just. And you kind of just see him regain a fire in his eyes.
That is very much all I can do.
You will let me have her. And he swings his axe. He almost says this like monotone. It's very strange how he kind of flashes in and out of this emotional and unemotional state.
Nope.
He's gonna swing his battle axe.
He is a plant.
Didn't roll good on that one. So 15 to hit.
Hooray! Miss.
Okay, second attack. Natural 1. Fuck, I've got the curse of the
Yay!
skeletons again. Damn it! Shit!
I live!
Nope, he's
Suck
gonna.
it, bitch!
He kind of brings his axe back, and with your maul, you just barely. You can feel the power of this huge axe he's wielding. Like, he has a pretty hefty double-bladed battle axe, and you can feel like if this thing hits you, it's gonna freaking hurt, and you just barely just try and slam it away with your maul, and he gets knocked to the side for his first swing, swings it back again at a very much faster speed than you would think, and he spins it around really quick, attacks you, and you manage to just barely step away in time, and it just cleaves. You can see this in your armor, just a huge like a nick as the battle axe cleaves through the armor, the very tip of the armor, like a knife through butter.
I just had this polished!
Whoops, I accidentally went past Irina. Irina's gonna look at Gwen. Let me down.
Oh.
Okay. I'll just say you drop Irina, even though it's like not your turn in the turn order, but I'll just say it's fine. It's
She
I
wriggled
mean,
out.
they're both
She
sitting
wriggled
at 12.
out. True.
That's true. You know what? We can say actually Gwen would go ahead of Irina. I don't know why it put Gwen first, actually. I had put Irina first. Okay. There we go. Gwen, you can go first.
Gwen delicately places her leg behind her. I mean, Irina. Behind
Okay.
her.
I will say I'll give you that free object interaction.
Thank you.
Irina's body an object.
Click. And we're gonna do a big swing through the bush into the little bugger.
Okay.
The big bugger. 11 to hit.
That's gonna miss, unfortunately. As he's swinging at Botak, he brings his axe around, and you see your opportunity to get a strike in. And he kind of just as you're about to attack, he takes his huge demon arm and just pushes your hammer to the side. Out of my way. Anything else you want to do?
Nope, I'm just gonna swear at the bush because it actually got in the way of my life for once.
Irina kind of looks around to your whole group and then to Ezek. And she kind of backs up a little bit, just nervous about getting in your guys' way more than anything, and also the ferocity with which Ezek was charging her has her a little bit unsettled. So she's going to sit back and take the guard action so that he can't get to her, or at least do what she can. She kind of holds her sword out in front of her, ready just in case Ezek breaks through you guys. Crowley, your turn. Alternate choice, use Irina as a weapon. Uh, whoa!
Let's see. Alright, so I'm gonna move up to the bitch. And then I take disadvantage, you said, on attacks?
Yeah, you're gonna take. Unfortunately, you're poisoned. You're gonna take disadvantage
That's
on,
fine.
on your attacks.
I can't really right click with my headset on, so just double roll and take the lowest.
Yeah, just roll twice and
Okay.
take the lowest. It'll work.
Yeah, 9.
You got a 9, you said? 9 total? Oh, big oof. Unfortunately, your strike does not connect. As he's kind of... And you see he's really not having a lot of issue fighting like 3 people at once. He shoves Gwyn's hammer to the side, takes his axe, and tries to block you as well, Crowley, and he just deflects your cutlasses with this dexterity that is very unnatural.
Am I able to use an item for my bonus or no?
Yeah, you have a free object interaction, so you can
Because
use
I
an
have
item.
a potion.
Depending on what it is. A potion, I
I have
think
a potion and
potions,
greater healing.
to use a potion, I think you have to spend an action. Let me double check the item description of the potion.
Well,
It should say
depends
in the
on-
potion what you. It's been a little bit.
I think it's depending on what he wants to do, because it's if he wants to use it on somebody else, I think it's an action. I think if he wants to use it on himself, it's a bonus action, but I'm not sure.
It doesn't say it in the thing, it just says I regain 4d4 plus 4 hit points when I drink it. That's all it says.
But do.
And it doesn't say anything for cost.
Drinking or administering the potion takes an action. Yeah.
Fuck. Alright, never mind. Whoops, did not mean to hit that. Alright, I guess I can still do a bonus action though, right? To
If
Alright.
you're a rogue, you've got bonus actions for days.
Okay, then I'll use cutting action to disengage and move here just to kind of keep out of the way, but
Okay.
stay on guard.
Okay. All right. You're gonna use disengage.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. No problem. You kind of step back from Izek, doing a little move in, take a swing, and then move back as soon as you see his lightning fast speed with the battle axe. You kind of hear Vargas over this commotion, kind of, "What are you doing? Go get him!" And the guard just wordlessly begins moving towards and attacking Ezek. Guard is really bad because he's a town guard, and he actually hits Ezek. Wow, way to go, town guard. You're moving up in this world.
She did something.
2 damage.
Deserves a promotion.
Crowley has an idea.
The town guard rolled the lowest on their attack they possibly could.
How much?
It did 2 damage total.
Oh,
So you see the
Just
town
enough for
guard wordlessly. She kind of moves forward and makes a stab towards Ezek, and it just barely catches him in the side. And he does not even. You don't even see him pay attention to it. He doesn't even notice. as they move forward and kind of just stab. All right, Thrixora.
Okay, so first question. Isaac's axe. Can you describe it to me a little?
Big old battle axe. It is a fierce looking, monstrous weapon. Two
Question.
blades, very heavy looking. It's about as big as Gwyn's great hammer, but is axe.
Question. The handle, which material is it made from?
It's this like the handle itself is made from this like wrapped leather. Very kind of bare. Not a whole lot of like decoration has gone into this axe.
I mean,
it is a simple.
Basically, the handle and the stick it's attached to until up to the axe blade.
I mean, if you're talking about heat
is there any
metal, which I think
exposed-
you are,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there
the
any
axe
exposed metal
is
in the handle?
you see it's wrapped with it's wrapped with leather. You not sure what is on the inside of the handle if the way the axe is built, where the axe is fully metal underneath the wrap, you can't really tell, especially while he's swinging around at lightning fast speeds.
Next question. What is the average health pool of a battle axe? My train of thought here is the following. If I cast heat metal on it, there's two things that can happen. Either this stick is made out of metal, then Isaac is going to have a very hot axe, in his hand. Or it's made out of wood, which in the ideal case would lead to the axe head basically burning off the handle, because glowing with red glowing metal is pretty hot and too hot for wood. So, yeah, maybe I can also attempt to destroy it that way.
You can take a risk and see how it works out. That's all I can tell you about the battle axe. Unless
No
you can.
matter what, it will have a positive
roll-
effect. So I'm going to cast.
I will say roll a perception check. I'll let you roll a perception check to see if you can. It's going to be a really high DC, but see if you can kind of gaze at what this battle axe is made of.
Is perception. 18.
18. Unfortunately, this is battle axes being. You didn't really get a good look at it while he was approaching you guys because it was on his back. And now when he uses it, he is just swinging it around like crazy. So you can't really manage to keep track of exactly what is going on with this battle axe. If you just see the leather wrapping and then the fierce looking, huge, double-bladed iron, it looks sharp. you can tell that for sure. But as to what the handle is made out of, you're not.
Okay then. Well, I am still going to cast heat metal on it.
Okay.
I mean, no matter what happens, it can only be good, right? So yeah, I'm using heat metal on the battle axe.
Okay. Let me look up the spell very quickly. Double check and make sure. Ezek is actually Walker from Outlast. That's not a bad. you kind of right. Okay. Heat metal. That's right. Do. Metal weapon. You cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell. Until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause this damage again. If a creature is holding or wearing the object, takes damage from it, the creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if it can. If it doesn't drop the object, a disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn. Okay. Got you. Yeah, you cast. Does it roll anything, or is there any kind of rolls, or is it just? I think it's just
that
casted.
Depends on if. Yeah, I just cast it, and if I have to roll for the damage, depends on if the axe falls apart or not.
Okay. The axe is going to glow red hot The handle is indeed made out of wood and leather, but the axe is going to. Yeah, it's going to be red hot. It's a glowing red hot axe now. I will say that the axe. You know, it is a weapon. I will say that, yeah, you can get your 2d8 fire damage in. You know, there's no. I'm not going to be pedantic about it. I will say you got the heat metal spell. You might as well use it when you can.
So just to clarify, the axe does not come apart, but he gets burnt by it.
He got burnt.
Okay.
The leather you do see kind of like starting to burn and wither away as it starts to glow red hot in Ezek's hands.
14 damage.
14 damage.
And
Okay.
Considering that he's holding it, he also needs to succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
Or drop it. That's right. What's the saving throw?
I have no clue. It doesn't say it in here.
Oh my goodness.
Constitution saving throw. Christian. Succeed on a Constitution saving throw. So whatever your spell, so you should have a spell save DC, which is your Charisma modifier. Do you know what your spell save DC is?
No fucking clue where it says that.
It-
Spell save DC 12. There it is.
12? Okay. Alright. He's gonna succeed on the Constitution saving throw.
Waffles, I'm gonna need you to just move my icon around for me, but other than that, I'll still be able to play. I just gotta take my dog out. I have D&D Beyond on my phone, and I'm gonna hop and call on there, okay?
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Alright, be right back.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. What was the damage again? I totally lost.
14.
14 damage. Okay.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Crowley.
I do believe you cannot do that
Why not?
because
Healing-
you are only allowed to cast one spell per turn, and then the other spell has to be a cantrip.
Yep. The other one has to be a. You can't cast two spells even if it's an action and
Okay,
a bonus action.
Then I am going to use
Yeah.
so I cannot use cantrip as a bonus action.
And
I
it,
assume.
yeah, of course, the bane of every wizard
Oh.
ever and cleric.
The to the
This shit
glory of the
sucks.
sorcerer, though.
I'm gonna do that next turn then, if Crowley survives that long.
You being me?
Okay. Anything else you
You're
want?
gonna be fine.
Anything else you want to do then?
I mean,
I'm
I
the
don't
only
have.
one that's hurt. What do you mean?
Crowley is the one who's already half dead from that fucking spike in the lock.
I just got hit with like half my HP from this guy.
Yeah, Crowley got hit for the same damage by the lock, and he has 10 HP less than you. So actually, he doesn't. Never mind.
Is that it for your turn, Thrixora?
I mean, I would like to do a bonus action, but there is simply nothing that I can do as a bonus action. So
Yo, welcome to Spellcasters. I feel your pain. Trust me, I'm playing a wizard in another campaign. It's like, I really wish I could do something from a bonus action. No, rogues and fighters really the only ones who can do a lot with their bonus actions. Don't.
Or sorcerer.
Yeah, or sorcerers, I guess. Yeah, in some cases, depending on what kind of sorcerer you're playing. But yeah, don't feel bad about not being able to use a bonus action.
It happens.
Anyway. Okay, Vargas runs away. Vargas sees this you see this desperate look on his face. His smile fades, or whatever facsimile of a smile he usually casts.
Can I yell something at him before he books it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Vargas the mirror.
He kind of looks at you, runs inside. He doesn't say anything. And I can't move his icon for some reason, so he's just going to sit there for a second. There we go. All right, perfect.
Waffles, I think you tried moving it on your waffle cam. And
Yeah,
not
I
on
think
the
I moved it on
actual-
the wrong one. Yeah, I'm like, why can't I touch him? There we go. Okay. Botak, your turn.
All right, let's see. I'm going to be using a bonus action. To be channel divinity, vow of enmity.
Oh,
A
you're
creature
gonna use
within
channel
10
divinity.
feet of me. Well, I now get advantage on attack rolls against them for 1 minute.
Hell yeah. All right. So you hold out your symbol of your sun god, and it just glows. All of you see it glow this brilliant light, and Ezek is. And you see like
Alright.
some of the light from this symbol flow out towards Ezek, and then dissipate.
Wanna play? Let's play. And let's see what gets. All with advantage. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. I am so glad that it's advantage, but that still freaking sucks. 13 total.
13.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that doesn't hit.
That unfortunately is not going to hit. Nope. Even with the advantage?
Yeah, the first one was a 5, the second one was a 9.
Oh, it sucks. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, well.
you take 2 swings with the maul, and Ezek is stepping back. He's kind of still reeling back from the pain of the battle axe, the heated metal flowing through his hands, and he's kind of just this pure rage in his eyes. Ezek's turn. He's holding onto his battle axe. He don't care. He don't care about the fire damage. He got HP for days. He's gonna take 2 swings at you again, Botak. Rolled an 11. He's not rolling well.
Is that with disadvantage?
He rolled with 11.
Yeah, he had
yeah.
because of the heat metal spell, he has disadvantage on all attacks.
Yeah, he rolled 11. Yeah, 11 is does that not hit, or does that hit?
That does not hit.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Just want to point out that he has disadvantage because of the heat metal spell.
Yeah. And then 12 is his other one.
Yeah, that's not hitting.
Okay. He is gonna take 2 swings at you with his axe, and the he still feels it burning. And he's going to use his free object interaction to just and throws his axe, and you see it go just flying off into it just whoosh, the axe just disappears. It is, and you see his arm suddenly just light up in flame, and he clenches his fist.
I think I prefer the axe.
Give me a second. Let me just look at his abilities really quick. Okay, nope, that's the end of his turn. All right. Gwen, your turn.
What? Bonk.
Bonk. Yes, go ahead and do the bonkies.
24.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
No, it's funnier than 24.
25.
Six.
Six damage total?
6 damage.
You sound so.
She's
Tom is dying.
exhausted.
Yeah, Tom is melting.
Not only did she do a very much big workout day today, but she also is very tired. It is very late for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should have stopped before this battle started. How long have we been going since the battle started?
Live.
We've been going a little bit,
45
about a
minutes.
half an hour, 45 minutes or something. Yeah.
I mean, what's his face can always use the mirror and speed this up.
We'll see what happens.
I don't think it's gonna speed it up as much as you think it might. But we could stop here mid battle, because I don't want Tama to push herself too much. I feel kind of bad.
That's fine.
If you guys are okay with that, I don't
I'm fine
want
with
Tama to
that.
push herself too hard.
But
Friends are way more
Bonk
important
again.
than the game.
can
Tommy,
I
your
bonk
health is way
again
more important.
first? No, fuck that. Can I bonk again first?
You can bonk again
Double
first.
bonk.
Yes. What was your damage on the first
Bonk
one?
again?
6?
6.
Yeah, they're a fighter. They could do a bunch of attacks. You're gonna action surge?
Right now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Ah.
A 15.
If 15 hits, yeah, 15 will hit him.
Good.
Good.
10 damage.
10 damage. All right, you see Izek, he throws his axe away. His arm lights up with this fire, this red hot fire, and this strange. It's very. Just think like giant anime claw, and that's essentially what Isaac got right now. He brings up his arm to block your hammer, and kind of just takes the damage to the arm. He just, you can see like sparks almost fly as bits of his arm are chipped off, but not enough to really. It looks like it hurts, but he's still just kind of grimacing through this pain.
How far up the arm is?
It's about
Like, does it stop?
about to here, up to about
okay.
just below his shoulder. It stops. All right, we stop there. I don't want to push too hard. Warhammers, Waffles. You know the obliterators from Warhammer 40k. They're near. I don't really
40K
know
stuff.
40k lore. I just know the only amount of Warhammer I know is
Ah.
Total War Warhammer. That's about it.
Yeah, I was playing that last Friday. I was having fun with it with my friend Kaiju. It's a pretty nice game.
Yeah, I haven't played
I
the
play
third
with
one yet.
friends.
I played the second one. I
have
think
never
I'll wait
played a
until
single one.
the bugs get finished with the third one. It seems a lot of people are having issues, so I'll wait it.
I had
Give
Wait,
no
you mean
problem.
you don't want to face completely and utterly broken Slanesh?
Yeah, I'll give it a little
That's
bit
not
off for
even-
release.
That's not even the broken character.
Tama, you get to bed. Tama, go to sleep. I'm
Have
gonna.
a good night.
Yeah, this battle might take a bit, so we're just gonna we'll pause right here mid battle. I don't like pausing mid battle, but I think it's good to do it because otherwise we're gonna be going for like another hour or so. It's gonna be a little
Yeah.
bit so. But thank you guys for playing. I wasn't expecting you guys to fight Ezek so soon, but that happened.
I heard so soon.
You know, you guys went straight for the bones. First door you checked, you found the bones, and you went straight for the Burgomasters. All right.
Yeah, fudge everything else.
Well, I mean, if we can get him to take care of her, then we can deal with him separately instead of having both of them to deal with.
Yeah. Very true.
And I may be wrong, but he seems like a little bitch.
He seems easier to deal with than her.
Hey, go sweet night.
Okay, yes, you
Good
get some
night,
sleep. You get
Tama.
some sleep, Tama. Go to bed. Night night.
Deadly, deadly.
Mm.
You know what's a very good bardic ability for bonus actions?
Huh.
Bardic inspiration.
Bardic inspiration is pretty
Fair point.
good. Bardic inspiration, pretty good.
But
I think
I'm
Crowley could really use that being poisoned.
I don't actually know how it interacts with that though.
Uh, what do you mean in terms
What do you
of?
mean?
Plus, I'm already down to one slot of bardic inspiration, so
Yeah, that's true. Yep, we can't use it infinitely.
Yeah, but it could be useful to one of us.
Well, we'll see how everything goes from here.
Yeah.
Well, it only work. I mean, I guess I could always, if I had it, I could save it.
Mm, if because we know 15 now hits him, but if you probably want to hit him with with Crowley with that the most because the sneak attack damage really does hurt somebody. It really does hurt. A rogue sneak attack is very
Sneak attack,
deadly.
bad time. Yeah, sneak attack's pretty rough.
I might be able to hit like a tank and truck, but a rogue can too if it has a sneak attack.
Oh man, I can't wait to say I wasn't expecting shit to hit the fan this soon, so we'll see where everything heads from here. I'm so like
What do you mean? Of course it's gonna hit the
Oh,
fan.
they
Have
gotta
you
go.
seen this party?
Oh man.
Ah,
Yeah, I was
alright.
like, yeah, as soon as Izak sees Irina, that's what he do. And yep, you guys had Irina with you, so that's where we are. But yeah, well, let's find somebody to raid. I guess Chachi, if you're still gonna continue streaming,
I'm gonna
I
be
don't mind
going to
raiding
play
you.
some Lost Ark.
You'll play Lost Ark. Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't played Lost Ark in so long.
What do you mean?
Oh,
It
oh,
hasn't.
oh! I thought you meant like,
This is
oh no, Lost Ark, the new game. That's right. I was thinking
yeah, the
Ark
new game.
Survival
New
for
game.
some reason.
No.
No,
I actually
yeah,
dislike
the
Ark.
new game, Lost Ark. Yeah, Ark Survival, Lost Ark. Yeah.
Games kind of blend together a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I haven't really been playing Lost Ark. Like my whole friends list on Steam is just filled with Lost Ark players, and I'm like, oh,
I know,
for
same.
MMOs.
That's the entire reason why I got like,
Nicer phrasing.
I was like, what should I try this? And everybody's like, yeah, it's a pretty cool, fun game. I'm like, I guess I'll give it a try. I hadn't heard anything about it, hadn't done any research on it or anything like that. So it was just like, I'm going in completely 100% blind.
Well, we're
And
gonna go.
I
We're gonna
like
raid
it.
Chachi. We're gonna go hang out with Chachi as he's playing some Lost Ark. I'm gonna go grab some food and stuff. Thank you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you everybody for
Bye-bye.
playing. Schmoodle and Deadly and Chachi and Tama. He disappeared.
Tama waffles.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody have a
Have a
good
fun
one.
time, guys.
Yeah.